Einstein proved something that changes everything. Time isn't absolute. It bends, it stretches, and it depends on how fast you're moving and where you stand in space. If time itself is relative, what does that mean for consciousness and for this very moment you're experiencing now? This is the first video in the Nature of Reality, a series exploring how science interrogates the deepest structures of existence and what they reveal about who we are. In the next minutes, you'll see how GPS satellites prove Einstein's vision every day, how physicists debate whether all moments exist at once, and the questions about time and consciousness that physics has opened but cannot yet answer. If time is not what we thought it was, what does that make us? Einstein's equations aren't philosophical. They're reality, demonstrated daily. GPS satellites orbit Earth at 14,000 kilometers per hour, faster than any fighter jet. Their atomic clocks do not tick at the same rate as yours. Without accounting for relativity, the clocks would drift by 38 millionths of a second per day, causing navigation errors of 10 kilometers, enough to drop you into the next city. Einstein resolved this through the Lorentz transformation, the mathematical relationship showing that time itself depends on velocity, not our perception of time, but time itself. For centuries, physics assumed velocity simply added. Throw a stone from a moving train, and its speed equals the train's speed plus the throw common sense. But light refused to obey. Einstein realized that nature follows the same laws whether you're still or flying through space, and that light travels at 300,000 kilometers per second for every observer. Imagine riding that train and shining a flashlight forward. Classical physics says you should measure the beam moving slower since you're chasing it. Yet measurements show exactly the same speed as someone standing still on the platform. Something fundamental had to give. Not the principles Einstein realized, but our assumptions about time. Newton assumed time flowed uniformly everywhere. Independent of motion, Einstein abandoned that certainty. Time and space, once separate, revealed themselves as one fabric, relational, perspectival, woven into four-dimensional space-time. The Lorentz transformation makes this explicit. Your time depends on where you are and how fast you're moving. Consequences shattered intuition. Moving objects contract. Moving clocks slow down. Light's speed becomes an absolute cosmic limit nothing with mass can reach. Einstein didn't merely correct Newton. He revealed that reality is stranger than imagination. Think of Einstein's lightning bolt train experiment. Two bolts strike points A and B. You stand midway and see both flashes arrive at the same moment. But a friend on a train passing you sees B's flash first because she is moving toward it. Same events, different conclusions, both correct. Einstein called this the relativity of simultaneity. Each observer lives in their own now, and none are wrong. A universal present dissolves. Time without a reference frame becomes meaningless. From this, physicists proposed a profound idea. If there is no universal now, perhaps all moments exist equally. Time becomes not a river, but a landscape. Reality becomes a four-dimensional sculpture where nothing moves, everything simply exists. You don't move through time, you are extended through all your moments at one point. But not all physicists follow the same path. Lee Smolin argues the future isn't real yet, that the universe genuinely evolves moment by moment. Sean Carroll embraces the eternal view. All moments exist simultaneously, and the feeling of flow is tied to memory and entropy. Julian goes further, claiming time does not exist. All configurations, says, exist eternally in a realm he calls Plutonium. In this vision, history is simply consciousness, tracing a path through timeless terrain. Duration becomes perception, not physics. Einstein opened the door. These thinkers walk through it differently. Which resonates with you? Does time feel like a river flowing, or like a dimension where all your moments simply are? Einstein's discovery echoes in the study of consciousness. Describe the unconscious as existing outside chronological time. In dreams, childhood and yesterday coexist. Meditation practitioners report an eternal present, where thoughts stream quiets. William James called it the specious present, the brief span where past and future blur. You can't grasp the present directly. By the time you notice now, it has already passed. Consciousness always lags behind its own experience. David proposed the implicate order, a deeper reality where everything is enfolded within everything else. Consciousness and matter emerge from this ground, making time a secondary feature, a way of unfolding what already exists. Aldous Huxley described 3 layers of being. The body exists in time, the spirit exists timelessly, and the psyche can move between these realms. The brain acts as a reducing valve, filtering vast reality into a narrow, usable stream. What you call I may be an adaptive simplification, optimized for survival more than truth. Modern physics confirms a deep entanglement between consciousness and measurement. When we observe a photon's path, the interference pattern disappears. Observer and observed intertwine in ways still poorly understood. If Einstein showed that now is perspectival and contemplative practice suggests time is constructed by consciousness, could these perspectives be pointing toward the same underlying structure? Einstein once admitted to Rudolf Carnap that the experience of now was outside the realm of science. Perhaps the flow of time is not a property of the universe, but a property of how consciousness meets the universe. Where science meets mystery, we can ask whether there are truths that transcend both instruments and experience. Carlo argues that the time we live is a blurred approximation shaped by our ignorance of microscopic detail, much like early astronomers misread the heavens, unaware Earth was spinning beneath them. His view is more radical. If all moments exist eternally, then the sensation of flow must come from changes in the brain. The passage of time becomes a reading of a static landscape. This doesn't make time imaginary. Clocks truly run at different rates, and simultaneity truly depends on motion. But perhaps we aren't measuring a flowing substance, only relationships between configurations in a deeper ground. Some researchers explore whether meditative states reveal structures that physics is approaching from another angle. This isn't mysticism rejecting rigor, but disciplined first-person investigation. Einstein himself wrote after a friend's death, "The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion." Einstein shattered the assumption that time flows uniformly, that now is universal. He showed that what we call the present depends entirely on who is watching and how they are moving. Whether encountered in mathematics, meditation, or moments of stillness, his question persists. What is the nature of consciousness in a universe where time itself is relative? Suggests all moments coexist in eternity. Carroll argues the flowing present is a necessary illusion. Smolin insists time genuinely passes. Contemplative traditions point to a timeless awareness beneath thought. This bridge between science and contemplation doesn't close debate. It opens a larger field where thinking becomes feeling, and feeling becomes the beginning of understanding point. New videos arrive every Thursday and Sunday, ongoing invitations to wonder. The question remains open. Does time happen to you, or do you happen within time? Somewhere between Einstein's equations and your next breath, the answer waits, quiet, patient, and alive.